Good evening, Guten Tag. Welcome to your quadcopter unit. These videos are going to talk about, we're going to be practicing translational flight. First video here is going to talk about flight roles, and then another video later on is going to talk about flight plan. This video is going to focus primarily on the flight roles of each person in the flight team. So we'll just go through here. Some things that we'll cover back through here. During your translational flight, so you're going to be working on hovering and going vertical and up and down, kind of working on that, and also working on landing. So let's kind of fast forward here to a couple of slides here. Okay, your flight teams. Oops, let me go back. Your flight teams are going to consist of a pilot, navigator, up to 2 spotters, and a mission control person. Each of these people are going to be integral to the flight and the mission. Mission control will serve as a spotter once the flight is once we are on the flight deck and going through the mission. The pilot is in charge of flying. Surprise, surprise. They're also in charge of the copter and the remote control once you're on the flight deck. They will make sure that nobody else touches it, that nobody else is taking over. They're going to be in charge of the copter, making sure that they're following their flight plan. They're also the one that fills out the flight plan, which we'll talk about in another video. The next job is the navigator. This is the person that reviews the flight plan once it's filled out, make sure that the course and all that matches up to maps, that the coordinates used, which we'll be talking about in a little later on video, but you can think about similar to what you used in math and science with the coordinate plane, that the coordinates the pilot has selected matches up to the coordinates on the map, and that the coordinates of where the pilot wants to go matches on the map where the pilot is going. Assists the pilot with navigation while they're at the table, serves as a spotter to make sure that they're not going above the ceiling, and also make sure that they're going in the right place, the right directions. The navigator is also the one that files the flight plan with the FAA and gets the approval to fly from the FAA. Mission control, this is the person that manages the copter and the controller when it's back on land in the back in the classroom. They're the ones that make sure the copter is plugged in and refueling, that if there's any issues with the copter or the controller, that's communicated to Mr. Garrett or the FAA. Relays mission details to the pilot. What is the mission supposed to encompass? What is it supposed to do? What are we doing here? They are the one that gets the mission, if you will, from the FAA or from the people from me, Mr. Garrett, and then relays that to the pilot as they're filling out the flight plan. Then reviews the outcome of the mission with the team and talks about what did we do well, what could we do better, kind of a review of sorts, or a performance evaluation. The last 2 jobs are the spotters. Aids with navigation out in the field, is in charge of safety of quadcopter while it's in flight, as well as people that might be wandering into or through the flight area, making sure that nobody is trying to take the quadcopter or anything like that. I'm also making sure the quadcopter isn't going anywhere it shouldn't be going, if it's going above the ceiling or out of view, or if they feel that the person is out of control. Again, the magic word is drop. They will be yelling drop to the pilot and navigator to make sure it gets down. Also, they will have eyes on the copter at all times. Thank you for watching this video. It is recorded and narrated by John Garrett. It is protected under Creative Commons license. You may share this video as long as any attributions are given to John Garrett. It is not for use for commercial purposes.